going on, y'all? Brotha Doug here. Now, a few weeks ago, someone asked me what's my favorite top 10 shows that I currently watch right now. Now, before I move on with that list, I'm going to tell you what didn't make the list. The news, because everyone watches the news. I don't really consider the news a show. I just consider it news. The Fresh Prince, because, it's a rerun. It's a past show, and it's currently airing reruns. Animes like Full Metal Alchemist, One Piece, Naruto, because, those are actually dubbed from Japan, so I don't really count those, but I still watch them. And that's pretty much it. So let's move on with this list. Coming in at number 10, I don't even have to say it. I blog about it all the time. It's been around for 20 years. I'm sure you guys know what it is. At number 9 comes Legend of Korra. Man, I just can't wait for book 2, man. Just because it was so epic, and it definitely succeeded or proceeded over Avatar: The Last Airbender, which I think equally they're both good, quality wise. But Legend of Korra, just really showed that really awesome side of it. Really explored more of what the Avatar world can do with that mythology. So that's why it comes in at number 9. I miss the 90s because there were sitcoms on top of sitcoms on top of sitcoms on every network. Remember the UPN, WB, ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, man, just constant sitcoms. But now today, I don't know, it's everything politically correct. However, there is one sitcom that I like, Big Bang Theory. I like it because it definitely deals with geek culture. And it's really one of the last good sitcoms we have of this generation. My favorite episode was when Sheldon got that speeding ticket and he was trying to get Stan Lee to sign his Flash comic, and the others had to go down to Stan Lee's house and get him to sign it. It was crazy. I like that episode. At number 7, South Park. I just love the show because it's unapologetic humor. I remember I was 7 years old when the show first came out, and I wasn't really able to watch it. I would sneak it, when my mom and dad went to sleep, I'll go and watch it like, hey, this show is pretty funny. It was the first episode, of course, when Cartman got the anal probe. I love South Park, and my favorite episode to date would have to be either the Imagination Land episodes or the Purity Ring episodes where Mickey and the Jonas Brothers. If you've seen South Park, you know what episode I'm talking about. Moving on. Now for number 6, it's a tie between Family Guy and Robot Chicken. I love both of them, and ironically, Seth Green is characterized in both of these series. He plays the voice of Chris on Family Guy, and he is the executive producer and creator of Robot Chicken and does various voices. So number 6, it's a good little tie. I don't really have a favorite episode of Family Guy, come to think of it, because they're all funny. It's definitely exceeded past Simpsons. I haven't laughed at a Simpsons episode in a minute, and they're going to have a crossover next year. But my favorite skit from Robot Chicken would have to be either the Calvin and Hobbes one or the Bring Your Sidekick to Work Day with the Justice League. Watch that skit. It's going to be under the link in the description. Coming in at a whopping 5 is Boondocks. You already know I'm always tweeting about it. Season 4 comes out next year. They already tweeted pictures that they're recording Season 4. And even John Witherspoon told us last year at the Cat Williams show that he was going back to the studio to record Granddad. So we already knew it was coming back. And so any cartoon that can say nigga and get away with it on national television is okay in my book. Let's see, my favorite episode. For Season 1, my favorite episode would have to be the Gangsterlicious episode. For Season 2, it'd have to be Ballin' when Riley goes out for basketball. And for Season 3, it would have to be, I would say the Dodgeball episode. The Dodgeball episode is pretty cool. At number 4 is The Game. It used to be on CW, now it's on BT. Tia Mowry and Pooch Hall, and Brittany Daniels, who played Kelly Pitts, left. I haven't given up on the show. I'm still a fan of it. I just didn't really like the direction it's taken now. They have the new cast members, Blue and Kira, but I still watch it. I'm not going to give up on it like that, because there's hardly any black shows. So, if I don't support them, who else will, But my favorite episode would have to be when Malik punched dude in the wheelchair. That was a good episode. Coming in at number 3, thanks to BET for having that marathon, Scandal. Scandal's pretty good though. I love waking up to beautiful women. I was headed to work one day and I was like, because I've been so Scandal like a while back since WonderCon, when we at the hotel, you just chilling, you trying to find what's on TV. I was like, oh, look, Kerry Washington. Oh, this is that Scandal show they was talking about, huh? Hey, this show is deep, man. So I like Scandal. I'm just getting in. I guess you can call me a bandwagon, but I'm not a huge fan of it. But I can't wait for Season 3. I believe it's coming out. This show is dope, man. And shout out to the person, Shonda Rhimes, who created Grey's Anatomy. She created this show, and only thing I don't like about it is that the girl's a side hoe to the president. But other way, it's doing big numbers for national television, or for network television to be exact. Coming in at the big 2. Walking Dead. Now I'm a fan of the comics. I'm a fan of the show. I haven't played the games, but man, when I had the pleasure of meeting Stephen Yeun and Norman Reedus last year at the Image Expo, and they're just real humble dudes, y'all. My favorite, I don't really have a favorite episode of Walking Dead. You know, they're all awesome. You know, just like the comics, I don't really have a favorite issue. But Walking Dead comes in at number two. You know, I watch it religiously. Like man, like you know, I'm stuck in it. If I'm at work, I record it on DVR. Walking Dead, and I just can't wait for the next season to come out, man. Well, I like how they're taking a direction from the comics. You know, they do adapt some of the stories and the arcs from the comics, but they tell their own little story, kind of like the Marvel Ultimate Universe. Like, you know, they tell some of the 616 stories. You know, the major story arcs like Days of Future Past and Age of Apocalypse, but they dive deep and tell their own little story. You know, their own interpretations, if you would. So with Walking Dead, that's why it comes in number two. I still love the show. That's one of my favorite shows. Coming in at number one, I put this in a category. VH1 shows, you know, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Love and Hip Hop New York, Basketball Wives LA, Regular Basketball Wives, Hit the Floor. The list goes on and on. I'm just a sucker for ignorance, man. Just like y'all, I know y'all be watching the Honey Boo Boos and the Jersey Shores and the Teen Moms and all that, but man, I just love VH1. Sue me. Alright, so those are the shows that I'm watching. What are y'all watching? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe, like the video, share the video, do whatever you can to stay in contact with me. I'm active on Facebook and Twitter. Make sure you do those. Follow me on those. Other than that, deuces.